Hey, I've got a question for you. When was the last time you drove over to another law firm near you, sat down over lunch, and traded every business tip you've got? Talked about what's working, what's not, and what to do next? No? See, that's what MaxLawCon is for. It's real conversations with law firm owners who are actually doing this, building, leading, scaling, and willing to share what's working right now. You could keep doing it alone, but let's be honest, it's slower, harder, and way more expensive than getting in the room and shortcutting the learning curve. As of this recording, we've got 20 seats left to this year's event. Skip the guesswork, go to maxlawcon.com and grab your ticket before they're gone.
Get ready, because here's your host, Tyson Mutrix.
Welcome back to this week's Guild Live show. Today I've got a really good one. We're going to be talking about how you can use agents to work with WordPress. It's going to be a really, really good one. I can't wait to talk about that one because we had to create a really complicated workflow to make WordPress work. And I'm hoping that this is something that will simplify that a little bit. I'm going to tell you a few things you can do to lead meetings better. I think that's a really, really good one we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a term, sleep maxing. I had not heard that term before. That's it's going to be an interesting one about how to maximize your sleep. Although I really, really believe in the importance of that. I'd never heard of that before. So that's something we're going to talk about. And then we're going to talk about some tasks you can automate with the Comet browser. That's Perplexity's browser. And then the final thing we're going to talk about is using some prompts to increase your online authority. That should be pretty helpful for a lot of you, especially anybody that is doing it yourself. So let's get into the first one, and that is going to be, it's Hostinger is the name of this. And I found this, and I was like, oh wow, this is really interesting. So Hostinger makes WordPress agentic web ready. This is from Search Engine Journal, SEJ. Hostinger brings WordPress into the agentic web with a simple one-click option. So we built out this workflow that we have things posted. We don't have them posted to WordPress. We have a draft created, and then a human goes and it the human changes things to make sure everything's more human-like, and that it doesn't, because we have very specific rules, and we start with outlines, and we have an outline editor and an article drafter, and then an article editor. It's one of the workflows, a similar workflow to ones I'd shown on the show months ago. And even though we give very specific rules, we still have to have a human that's involved. And so to connect it to WordPress was not the simplest thing in the world. Kashav had to build out, he had to do something with coding and all that, and something that's beyond my expertise, but it was far more complicated than I thought it should have been. And I'm wondering if this is going to help solve that problem. So Hostinger announced a new AI agent optimization feature that makes any WordPress website AI agent friendly, optimizing websites to provide the best experience for humans using AI agents to compare products, plan vacations, and perform other tasks that are part of a user's information and consumer journey. Agentic web. The agentic web is a new reality of the internet based on reducing friction for agentic AI. Agentic AI refers to AI bots that go out into the web to complete tasks on behalf of humans. The original version of the web was optimized as a platform for interactions with people. The agentic web is optimized for interactions with AI agents. What makes the agentic web possible is a collection of protocols and standards that makes it easy, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So their Web 2 agent, Hostinger announced a new feature called Web 2 Agent. Web 2 Agent makes WordPress websites agentic AI friendly with a single click. So this is more directed at, it seems, because it's not something I've been able to review yet. It's something that I wanted to look at on the show, and it looks like this is more of from the user standpoint. So the person that's going in searching, and they're going to look at it, and they're using agents to search for them. So this isn't necessarily someone that owns the site. It's something that's going to benefit them from an agent standpoint. So this is interesting. If we think about this from our standpoint, it does make more sense. So let's say I'm using agents to go out and find me a lawyer. Um, Having this involved on our site makes a lot of sense because if our sites are not AI agent friendly, and if people are going to start using agents more and more, this reminds me of whenever mobile first started to become a thing, and then um, people started to make their sites mobile friendly and all that. This is very, very similar to that. For the I don't know those of you that remember this, I think there used to be for mobile, the URL was like m dot whatever the URL was, if I remember correctly. So there was a little bit, and then it eventually was just your sites became mobile friendly and everything, because it was almost like we had like two different websites. One was like for the mobile site, and one was for the desktop version. But so this is very interesting because right now I'm guessing that based on this, most sites are not agent friendly. And this is going to make them more agent friendly, where I'm guessing the agents can communicate with each other. So this is probably some sort of agent on the website's end that's communicating with the agent that is searching the site. That's an interesting thing. I had not thought about making sites AI agent friendly. That's a completely different thing than what I thought that this might be. But hey, it's I think getting ahead of this now makes a lot of sense. That's interesting. Very good. All right, let's get to our next story, and this is about how to lead meetings. Three simple things to do in meetings to show you are a leader. This is one from Forbes, and let me pull up the article so everybody can see it. I thought this was an interesting one. Thought this would be really helpful for people that lead meetings. So, three simple things to do in meetings to show you are a leader. Okay. Future leaders are spotted in meetings. Um, it's an interesting subheading. Future leaders are spotted in meetings. No kidding. When you take meetings seriously, you're making a major deposit in your personal brand bank. Being truly serious about meetings means staying engaged from start to finish, even when it is tempting to tune out after delivering your update. Okay, so here's a few tips. Preparedness. Leaders take meetings seriously. One of the most valuable leadership moves happens before you walk into the conference room or click join meeting. Small preparation signals professionalism. Before every meeting, review the agenda and gather key data. Then arrive a few minutes early. The prep step is among the most important elements of a meeting, yet the busyness of work, that's interesting, often prevents us from completing the step. That diminishes your opportunity to shine. Successful leaders don't wing it, they come prepared. All these ads, it's amazing to me that all these ads, this is just, I would never, if I were doing this show right now, I wouldn't even notice this. I would be more likely to click off of this website than actually click this ad or pay any attention to this ad. It's one of those things where I can't even believe that people are still doing ads like this. I just can't believe it. I can't imagine that they're effective. But anyways, I digress. So when you're prepared, you're more likely to get value from the meeting and contribute meaningful and memorably. Rather than just showing up, take time beforehand to consider what's expected of you. Are you being asked for insights, yada, yada, your personal objective for the meeting, stakeholders, recognition opportunities, and smart questions. So asking powerful questions during a meeting is a great way to help everyone get clear about the topic. So that's number one, engagement. Leaders are actively engaged throughout the meeting. One of the biggest mistakes you can make in meetings is letting your attention wane once your part is done. Here's what's interesting about this article. And it's about the once your part is done, because and it's specifically about that. Elon Musk in his companies, they talk a lot about if you are no longer needed in the meeting, you have free will to be able to just leave the meeting at any point. If you feel like you're not getting any value, if you feel like you're not adding any value, you can leave at any point. So it's interesting to me that if your part is truly done and you have nothing to add to the meeting and you have nothing to learn from the meeting, that I don't believe that you should just force yourself to be engaged, but I think if you do have an active role in the meeting, yeah, definitely should be engaged. Use visual listening, eye contact, and cues. Ask clarifying questions, connect the dots, advance the conversation. I think that's good. Demonstrating leadership in virtual meetings. When attending meetings virtually, be even more intentional about how you show up. Keep your camera on. Resist multitasking. Use the medium. Although most elements of virtual meetings can feel less visceral, there are some features that can make digital meetings more dynamic. Leverage chat to amplify others, drop helpful links, and capture next steps in real time. That's one of my favorite parts about meetings, virtual meetings, is that ability to chat, because you can have sort of this side conversation that's a part of the main conversation. So it's not a separate conversation. It's not like it's like completely separate. It's a part of the main conversation that everyone's talking about, but you also like being more, it's like another level of engagement, which I think is kind of cool. Mind your environment. A clean branded background, clear audio, and concise visuals enhance your credibility. I think the most important part of this, it's not the clean branded background, it's the clear audio. I think there's not much that can kill a meeting more than like terrible audio. So I think that part's really important. So make the most of meetings to showcase your leadership potential. So there you go. That is that article about how to be a better leader in meetings. All right, let's get to sleep maxing. So sleep maxing is something, I guess I've been doing it without realizing it for the last couple years, and it's where you are optimizing your sleep. Okay, and I pulled up some tips that you can do to help sleep max. Let me just tell you, I think I've mentioned some of this on the show before, but and some of the stuff they're gonna mention. I went through and I took some black electrical tape and went through and taped up every single light in my room. So there is zero light in the room. There is, we had a hallway, like night lights and stuff that I went and unplugged and moved around the house so you couldn't see them under the doors. Went through and got blackout curtains, so it made it pitch black. The only light that was showing through, and Amy was like, it's kind of crazy because sometimes in the middle of the night you like would run into things. I'll tell you about how that we've solved that problem in a second. But the only light that was in our room is the one for the TV, and the only reason why that is because otherwise the TV remote will not work on the TV. Otherwise, I would be that little red dot I would get rid of. But it was so funny because it was so pitch black that you would walk into things. It was disorienting. It was wild, really wild. But we bought a new bed. It was something Marco Brown had talked about. I can't remember if we talked about it on the show or if it was during a mastermind or something, but I had a Sleep Number bed a long time ago, got rid of it. I got one of their newer Sleep Number beds that are pretty freaking awesome. So it's got the temperature control. This is something they talk about too in this article. It's also a Forbes article about sleep maxing, but it's got temperature control. But the thing that solved the running into walls in the middle of the night was when you get up, there's a light underneath the bed that turns on, like a very, very dim light. You can control the how strong the light is. That part's really, really helpful, because it's not so bright that it's going to wake you up. It's just enough so you can see your way to the restroom, or if you need to, go out into the hallway or something. So it's really, 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 really helpful. But let me get to some of these sleep maxing practices. You know what? I'm sorry. This is not from a Forbes article. This was something that I had seen and that I looked into more. I pulled these from other places. So I'm thinking about the last article that we're going to cover on the authority prompts. That one's from Forbes. This one is just from places I pulled it from all over the place. So sleep tracking. My wife Amy wears an Oura ring. That's something she uses to track her sleep. The Sleep Number bed that we have, that also tracks our sleep, but then also use the Whoop. So Whoop, This mentions you can use Apple Watch, but the battery life on it is not good. So I wouldn't recommend it for that. But so it monitors HRV, your deep sleep, REMs. So the Whoop is really good. I think the Whoop does an amazing job of tracking sleep and quality sleep. Really good. Temperature manipulation. So making sure that you're in a cold room. You can use chili pads. I used to have, we still do have a chili pad. We don't use it anymore. It's in a box, but we now use that new one, the new bed. It has temperature control, which is fantastic. And you can have it where it's warm as you're going to bed. It's got a separate foot warmer from the actual bed itself. And then during the night, starts to cool down and it adjusts based on your body temperature. Really interesting. It's really, really helpful. Definitely helps you get some deeper sleep. Blue light blocking. So glasses, apps, red light therapy before bed. I bought some of those Huberman glasses. Can't remember the brand, but I like those a lot. They're these amber colored glasses that blocks blue light. Amy makes fun of me when I wear them, but I do think that they're very, very helpful. This is supplement, so magnesium. Magnesium's a really important for those of you that need it. Really important vitamin to take. This says melatonin microdosing, but I've heard some bad things about melatonin. So L-theanine also is really good, and then glycine. Sound and sensory interventions, white noise, binaural beats, pink noise, and then aromatherapy. Never heard of pink noise before. Don't even know what it is, but that's on this list. And then bed stacking rituals combining pre-sleep routines, so sauna and cold plunge plus meditation and supplements. So stacking all these different things. So these are some different things you can do to maximize your sleep, which I can go to all the benefits of getting good sleep and all the risks and everything, but I think everyone knows the risks. I mean, when it comes to risks, not getting sleep, you're talking about weight gain, you're talking about sleep apnea, could be one of the things that cause it, but just you're groggy throughout the day. There's just lots of risks. I'm not even. I think we all know that the benefits of sleep are there, and that we should certainly be following them. But all right, let's get into our next article, which is the Comet browser. And this is some tips. Now, this is one, it's not specifically about the Comet browser. I've talked about the Comet browser. This is from makeuseof.com. I thought this was an interesting, I was scrolling and I saw this article. And this one, I made Perplexity's Comet my default browser to automate 4 tasks every day. I can tell you, I have made Comet my main browser, my default browser, and I didn't like it. And the reason why is because I couldn't use it for the show. I had it on this computer, and whenever I would open a new link in a tab, I could not share that link whenever I was streaming. So there's still some issues when it comes to that. It's still got to catch up with Chrome and all that. There are issues. Otherwise, it's a fantastic, and I wish I could use it as my primary browser because of all the great features. There's Assistant that you can use. So many different features. I really, really do like it. So I would recommend that you do it if you don't have to stream. That's what I would say. So Perplexity's Comet browser can do what other AI tools can't. It can browse the web like we do, while ChatGPT, Claude, and even Perplexity's answer engine are stuck with pre-trained data and get blocked by websites. Comet navigates the internet like a real browser. It does do an amazing job. What we can do is I can see, to try to show you how this works, I can see if I can get if I can share my one of these browsers. So one of these browser tabs, and I will see if I can do this. For those of you that are just listening, I'll walk you through this. But let's see if I can actually share this now, because this would tell me that there's an update, and that's why I want to see if there's any sort of update that would allow me to do this. And I'm looking for, see, one of those things like right now, if I'm in StreamYard, when I say when I'm looking for window, it's hard for me to find. Now I'm going to share it and see if it does it. And it did it. Okay, so it has been updated now. So this is good. So check this out. Here's what's cool about this. Search for this is a basic one. Okay, so let's see, best restaurants in Nashville, Tennessee. So Max Lacan is next week. Remember, if you're gonna go, you got a week to get tickets. So it's next Thursday and Friday. So if you're listening to this, I think you're gonna hear this the day after the conference ends. But if you're watching this live in the guild, you probably already know that the conference is next week. But let's see. I wanted to actually see. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to search Google Maps for me, because what it did is it gave me some in the actual side chat. It did it now, and so because I didn't prompt it properly, I was too busy talking to the screen. I actually just prompted it again because I wanted to search Google Maps, and I want you to be able to see what it looks like, because it's actually doing this in real time, and that's what's pretty cool. So it's actually pulling up in Nashville on Google Maps best restaurants in Nashville, Tennessee. It's searching. It is now zoomed out. It was zoomed in before, but on the left side you can actually see the search results, and that's why I want to show this to you, just because you could see what it looks like. And it has all these little buttons all over the place, make it the default browser, all that kind of stuff. So they're definitely pushing it quite a bit. But let's get back to this article though, so you can see what I'm talking about. So they had automate 4 tasks every day. So Comet and custom shortcuts, assign instructions to custom shortcuts. Okay, so you can create shortcuts, which is pretty cool. Like most AI tools, Comet is an on-demand automation browser. So you'll need to give it instructions every time you want it to do a task, but having to write the same lines of instructions is a waste of time. And for someone who writes all day, every day, it's not the most exciting thing to do. So instead of typing those over and over again, this person uses Comet shortcuts. So you can assign a prompt to a custom word, which works as a text expander. So those of you that don't know what text expander is, it's something, just a way of using shortcuts. So basically, if you're for example, if your daily workflows involve finding the latest trending topics on social media, you can create a shortcut /trending -on -social -media for the prompt. I want to know about the latest. So you can create this little prompt that expands it, so you can do the search. So that's create the shortcut. That's one way. It sounds like update my worksheet with completed tasks. So automatically update my Google Sheet based on task status in Asana. So that's pretty cool that you can do. That you can have it do. So we can update that, organize the tabs, group and manage browser tabs intelligently. So I end up with dozens of tabs open by lunchtime, research tabs, documentation. Combine this with my tab reporting habits, and my browser becomes a chaotic mess in no time. When I have relied on some excellent tab management tips to manage my tabs more effectively, Comet can organize my tabs with a simple command. So that's pretty cool. So you can actually take it. I've got all these tabs open up, and you can have it take care of that. That's pretty cool. And then review my previews, a second pair of eyes to fix what I miss. So this is where you could have it look at your article that this person has written, and then have it edit. So you can have it if you're writing something, you can have it review and then edit what you're working on. And I have it do that sometimes too. And then you can create and automate daily, weekly, or monthly tasks. So Comet's automated tasks feature allows you to schedule recurring actions based on frequency. Every morning, it shows me my Asana tasks and recent comments for the day. Twice a week, it checks my Amazon subscribe and save items and adjusts quantities based on my input. So that is pretty cool. So if you look at the settings, you can go to the settings in the browser, and it gives you a lot of functionality. And my guess is that Chrome is coming soon with that stuff. That is my guess. We shall see. All right, let's get to the last one, which these are the prompts. It took me some digging to get this, by the way. So these are some prompts. It's from Forbes, and these are. There's no I do some digging. It's because I don't have a Forbes subscription, so this article wouldn't let me have the full thing. So you're welcome. These are 7 prompts that you can use to. I probably should have admitted that, but these are 7 prompts you can use to increase your authority online, which will help you when it comes to search and everything. So the first one is authority content engine. Act as my content strategist based on my expertise in blank field. So mine would be like personal injury, my niche audience of, and I would put in my niche audience and who, and my credibility markers. So you list the things that make you more credible. Outline a 30-day authority content plan, 4 cornerstone posts, 12 derivative posts, and weekly distribution across LinkedIn/X/newsletter. Keep it first person, conviction driven, and unmistakably me. Include hooks and CTAs. Angle. So number 2, angle and bio bank for media. Number 3, top podcast to pitch and plus pitch draft. 4 is signature talk plus speaker one sheet. 5, case studies and social proof pack. 6, strategic collaboration and guesting. And then 7, 30-day authority cadence scorecard. So let's do that one. Design a day-to-day, day-by-day, 30-day schedule to execute all of the above. Include daily actions, time estimates, a simple KPI scorecard, reach, replies, invites, backlinks, bookings, and a weekly review ritual to iterate. So let's do another one. I want to give you another one of these. I'm not going to read all of them just because I don't think you want me to read prompts to you all day. Angle and bio bank for media. So you're my PR editor, craft a tight 120 word media bio plus 10 timely story angles I could credibly speak on this month, each with a 1-sentence takeaway and suggested headline tailored for business outlets and podcasts my audience reads/listens to. And let's do the podcast. So this is the top podcast to pitch and pitch draft. Build a list of 25 podcasts that reach blank audience to describe audience and regularly feature blank. So role/topics for each show fit, reason, typical guest angle, and host contact route. Then write a short, punchy pitch email in my voice and 3 subject lines to A/B test. So they're good. I had this do something for me. We're trying to get a particular song license that is not in our pack of songs we can license for the conference. If we can get licensed, you'll hear it next week. But I used this and it created I was in Comet and actually created an email inside of the chat box, and I just hit send. I made a couple of tweaks to it that I did some things that I didn't want in it and added some other things. Just hit send right there from the browser. It was incredible. Didn't have to do anything because it already has my email information. So that was pretty cool, pretty neat. But all right, that is. I forgot to click the link on that one to show that it's on authority prompts, but that is all we have this week. Hopefully you got something from this episode. This was a fun one because I got a mix of things in here. So sometimes it's a little AI heavy, but I don't know. These are a lot that I thought were pretty interesting for me that I'm going to try. So it's hopefully you got something from this episode, but we will see you all. There will not be a show next week because of the conference. That's going to be the day for the mastermind, and the day before that, we're going to be recording. So have a wonderful week, everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks. And if you're at the conference, I'll see you at the conference. See you, buddy.
Real quick, before you head out, have you checked out the Guild yet? If you've been listening to this podcast or hanging out in the Maximum Lawyer Facebook group, you've probably heard us mention it. But if you haven't taken the next step, let me tell you, you're missing the best part of this community. The Guild is where law firm owners like you go to level up. It's not just more content. It's a powerful mix of weekly live trainings, group coaching, accountability, and a tight-knit community of people who actually get what you're building. You'll be able to tap into real conversations with people who are in the trenches with you, scaling their firms, testing ideas, solving problems, and growing fast. If you're serious about building a firm that runs like a business and not just a job, this is where you want to be. Go to maxlawguild.com and take that next step. We'll see you inside.